Light. Introduction. Light is a form of energy. Light is needed to see things around us. We detect light with our eyes. Though we can see the various things around us, but eyes alone cannot see any object. It needs light to see the things around us. Light or visible light is the portion of electromagnetic radiation that is visible to the human eye, responsible for the sense of light. Visible light has a wavelength in a range from about 380 or 400 nanometers to about 760 or 780 nanometers, with a frequency range of about 405 terahertz to 790 terahertz. What makes things visible? We know that all objects that we see can be classified into two types: luminous and non-luminous. Luminous objects are those that emit light of their own. These are also called sources of light. Non-luminous objects are those that do not emit their own light and are seen in the presence of a source of light. These objects cannot be seen if there is no light source. Light coming from a light source bounces off a non-luminous object and enters our eyes. When rays of light enter our eyes, they fall on a light-sensitive layer at the back of the eye called the retina. They are then transmitted to the brain through the optic nerves, and the brain interprets the image formed on the retina. This is how we see objects around us. Reflection. When a ray of light hits a mirror or any polished surface, it bounces off the surface. The phenomenon is called reflection of light. When you look at a mirror, you see the reflection of other things around you along with your own image. The bouncing back of the light from the surface of a material is known as reflection of light. The reflection of the mountain on the river can be seen from this view. Regular and diffused reflection. Reflection from a polished surface is called regular reflection, and reflection from a rough surface is called diffused reflection. Regular reflection. A polished surface reflects a parallel beam of light in one direction. Diffused reflection. A rough surface reflects a parallel beam of light in many different directions. You know that we can only get a diffused reflection from a rough surface. This is why we cannot get a clear image from old stainless steel utensils. But we can see images of objects only from highly polished surfaces like mirrors. There are two laws of reflection. They are: number 1, first law of reflection, and number 2, second law of reflection. First law of reflection. According to the first law of reflection, the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal all lies in the same plane at the point of incidence. The incident ray on the mirror at point O makes an angle I with the normal, and the reflected ray reflected from point O makes an angle R with the normal. We can see that the incident and the reflected ray meet at the same point, that is O. Second law of reflection. According to the second law of reflection, the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. The incidence of the ray, that is incident ray on the mirror at point O, an angle I with the normal, and the reflected ray is at an angle is reflected from point O at an angle R. We can see that incident and the reflected ray has same angle of incidence and reflection, that is angle I is equal to angle R. Image formed by plane mirror. The two laws of reflection stated above remain the same regardless of the shape of the mirror used. However, the characteristics of the image formed, that is, size of the image, whether it is upright or inverted, as compared to the object, etc., vary depending on the type of the mirror. The mirror is shown and the image of the butterfly is forming according to the characteristics of the plane mirror. Properties of the image formed by a plane mirror. The image is formed at the same distance behind the mirror as the object is in front of the mirror. The image of a plane mirror is not real image. It is a virtual image because it cannot be focused on the screen. The word ambulance is written as given on the van. It is because by the lateral inversion it looks ambulance on the mirror. It is used so that the car moving in front of the ambulance can read ambulance word easily on its rear view mirror. The image formed in a plane mirror is vertically erect. Multiple reflection. By varying the angles between the two mirrors, we can get any number of images. Let us see how a combination of plane mirrors work. For example, if we keep two plane mirrors at an angle of 90 degrees to each other, we will get 3 images. As we decrease the angles between the mirrors, the number of images will increase. Then, when the two mirrors are parallel to each other, we get an infinite number of images. You might have observed this in many places. Some elevators have mirrored walls. This is because of the multiple reflections of light.